Peace. It's your girl T Speaks. I wasn't going to get on the camera, but I figured y'all would want to see me while I was chatting about this whole Monique and the Bonnet situation. And I just been listening to and the reason why is because I'm not as presentable as I could be. But I mean, I ain't wearing a bonnet or pajamas. So let's talk about it. I want to know what y'all think about the whole situation. Apparently, she's being criticized for lovingly giving young black women some auntie friendly advice on how to appear presentable in public. Presentable obviously is the word that people want to kind of pick apart. Some people are saying, well, who are you? Who is she to tell us how to look in public? And then other people are like, well, why is she getting criticized for giving people loving advice? Like it wasn't even a bad. It wasn't even her tone of voice wasn't even bad. I watched the video, and now I'm watching the celebrities and how they're reacting to it and their responses. And even they are being careful with their words. And this whole cancel culture is just, in my humble opinion, is getting out of control. If we become too above reproach, and if in society, if we become too high and mighty, where can't nobody tell us that we doing wrong, can't nobody give us friendly advice, we're just gonna self-destruct. We're just gonna self-destruct. Now, I know it's a lot of layers to like black women, how they dress, how they present themselves in public, how they, are perceived by the media. Like I know it's a lot of layers to that based on your upbringing, how you was raised, was you raised with, ghetto. Listen here, I can't be poetically well versed right now to get the truth out. I gotta keep it real. I can't be overthinking and careful with my words as much as I normally am, because the truth is just too important for me to package it in a way where somebody might get offended. Like, go ahead and get offended. Go ahead and get offended. Listen here. I understand some women were not raised in a proper household. I understand that some women have a certain way about them where they don't really put too much effort in their appearance when they walk outside the house. I personally make sure when I'm traveling, and I do travel quite often, more than the average person, I make sure, me personally, that I look presentable. Because number one, I like to look presentable. What does presentable look like? That is the question that everybody appears to be debating. We know what presentable looks like. It ain't with scarves and bonnets on my head, that's for sure. I'm making sure my locks are neat and combed. I'm making sure, which they're not. So when I do travel, and I know that I'm getting ready to present myself to a grandiose world, I make sure that my hair is neat and nice and clean. I make sure that my nails are clean. I make sure that my teeth are clean. I make sure that I don't have any boogers in my nose. I make sure that I don't have any eye boogers on my eyes. I make sure my breath is fresh. Like health and hygiene. Now we having our conversation. What happened to cleanliness is next to godliness. I'm not saying that wearing the bonnets and all that stuff ain't clean, but if you coming outside with your pajamas on and you looking all, what some would say, sloppy, how do you expect other people to react to you? How do you expect? So when I go outside, I make sure. I don't even go outside to take out the trash without putting on something presentable. A pair of jeans, it don't take but a split second to put on a pair of jeans and a sweatshirt. It don't take nothing but a second. Because number one, you never know who's going to be outside. And number two, you always want to present yourself in the best light possible when you're around, at least around other people. Like, what you see is what you get. People be lying. And that's where I'm really concerned. I'm concerned that people are afraid to have the conversation around this topic. And then I'm also concerned that people are afraid of the backlash of having the conversation. I'm also concerned that the conversation even needs to be had. Monique was saying some good stuff. She was like, where did we lose our dignity? You know, we can go down a rabbit hole with that too. I don't know. But I do know for me personally, when I look in the mirror, I do have a set of standards that I myself uphold when I walk outside the house. I want to make sure that, like I said, I look presentable. My hair is neat. My clothes are ironed. My shoes are polished. My nails are clean. My hygiene is impeccable because I represent me first. And then I represent black people, black women, actually, if you really want to break down the layers. And then I represent black people as a whole. And then being a mom, being what I would consider a leader to the community, someone who is well put together, someone who people can rely on in case of an emergency, they can call on in times of crisis and in need. Like, as a professional, I want to make sure that I always emulate the highest physical form of me when I walk outside the door. I represent all those people. I represent my ancestors. Now we really having our conversation. I'm representing my future generations. I'm representing my higher power. And I want to make sure that I represent all those entities and powers that be the right way. And in my humble opinion, wearing certain clothing in public that is not meant for public, that was not originally created to be exposed in the public eye, is really, it's not putting my best foot forward, in my humble opinion. I'm not going to go outside with a bonnet on. I'm not going to go outside with pajama pants on and flip-flops and fluffy slippers and frolic about. I'm not going to do that because I feel like the attire is a giveaway on what's going on the inside of me. That's just my opinion. You can take for what it is. I feel like people and their opinions, number one, I feel like people can't even have an opinion anymore without having some backlash, which is crazy. Number two, I feel like the deeper meaning behind why the conversation is important around how black women and black people present themselves in public, I feel like that is more important than the conversation itself. I feel like self-image is very important. I feel like some of us as black people are lacking self-image, are lacking positive self-image, positive self-esteem. We can't continue to split hairs and to pick and choose what is acceptable and what is not. We really have to figure out what is acceptable, what is not, and go forward with that movement. A lot of us are very, very confused on what being black even means as a whole. Like, that's really, in my opinion, what this conversation is stemming from. Because if we want to go ahead and bring in other races, most races are groomed from a very young age to dress and appear a certain way, especially in public. They are groomed to present themselves in a certain way from a very young age. So it's not even a question. They're already walking around in an abundant mindset by the time that they're 12 years old, because they've been groomed since the time they were 2 years old to dress neatly, to comb your hair, to take care of your outer appearance. We ain't gonna act like we don't know. We're not gonna act like that don't hold some weight and some truth to it. And so we have to start just being less careful about what we say and more receptive to what we hear. What is the message at the end of the day? It's why I don't be online like that. Is because somebody will take a snippet and flip it all the way around and find a reason to make the message out to make them appear like they are a victim. No, we got to stop with the victim mentality. If you see, what you see is what you get. They say, don't judge a book by its cover, but you really have to in order to protect yourself. It's freaking innate. Like, it's innate. Like, if I'm walking down a dark alley and I see a black woman walking my way, I'm not going to feel so threatened. If I see, we want to have our conversation, if I see a black man walking my way, if I see a white man walking my way, if I see an Asian man if I see a man, period, walking my way, my spidey senses is going to start tingling, because that's my experience. In my experience, a man might be more threatening than a woman. What you see is what you get. Now, there's caveats to that. If I see the woman and she looks all tattered and her clothing is falling off of her and she looks unkept and I can smell urine on her and she appears to be homeless, my spidey senses is going to also tingle, because what you see is what you get. And sometimes you got to rock with that. Sometimes you got to trust your eyes. I know this is going on deep and somewhere else, and there's a lot of caveats to what I'm saying. There's a lot of caveats to what a lot of people are saying about how you represent yourself when you walk outside the house. But we can't negate the fact that people do judge each other by the way that they look. They do. And in my humble opinion, we got to start somewhere. And you feel better when you look better. You feel better when your hair is done. I feel better when my hair is done. I'm bring it on me. I won't talk about how you may feel. When my hair is done, I feel better. When I'm glowing from head to toe, and I got my pedicure, and and I'm in some nice fresh gear, or in a business suit on my way to an interview, or on my way to a business meeting, or I got on a new sweatsuit because I'm getting ready to hit the gym and I got some new gear on, I feel better. You can sense it in my energy. You can see it in my eyes, and I'm reacting to myself. You feel what I'm saying? And again, I understand that a lot of people, I'm going to get off this line because it's getting lengthy. I understand a lot of people wasn't raised a certain way. I understand there's people that's in the slums. And they may not even have access to certain clothing and stuff like that. But we all know of the baseline. We're trying to get away from what the baseline is. The baseline is be hygienically sound, have some hygiene about you, present yourself in a clean and presentable way. That's it. Even cats groom themselves. We ain't gonna act, come on, y'all. Come on now. Even cats and bunnies groom themselves to stay clean and presentable in their fur. It's a health and safety situation. And I'm not saying a bonnet is not unhealthy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that what you see is what you get, and people will judge you on how you look. And we need to stop trying to fight for that. We just need to stop fighting for that. Like, well, I could be a PhD walking around. Yeah, you can, but how does that, I mean, what message do you really want to send by walking around looking a hot ass mess, for example, but you got a PhD? Like, okay, you just want to prove people wrong? Like, why? Why play the game? Like, why? Unless you're an anomaly, the majority of us want to be respected. The majority of us walking around want to appear like we care, and we want to be respected when we walk outside the house. How do we be respected? We gotta look respectable. It is what it is. It's a lot of stuff dropping down in my spirit right now. A lot of stuff, but I'm not gonna get onto it because I'm hecka like I'm just over the whole cancel culture. I'm over the whole if one celebrity tries to encourage the black community in one way lovingly, like how I feel Monique did, I think she did it very eloquently, then people got a problem with it. Okay, we're gonna always have a problem. If you got a booger in your nose, do you want me to not tell you that because you're gonna have a problem with it? It's your right to have a booger in your nose. It is your right to have a booger in your nose. It is your right to look the way that you want to look. I agree. I agree. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. If you about that life and you trying to get to the next level, God or your higher power is supposed to call you out every now and again. You're supposed to be called out every now and again. I'm glad I'm glad I got people in my life that will tell me the truth about me. And I'm glad that I have the ear and the heart to listen when they say, you know what, T-Speaks, you need to clean that up over there. This was wrong. This, you could do better over here. And I don't just fall apart. And my ego ain't just crushed in the instance. And even if it is, I still am understanding that it's because I'm in a space where it's time for me to grow or go. Like there's a saying in social work, grow or go. And right now, in my humble opinion, some people need to grow up. And they need to be able to listen to that critique and not fall apart. And somebody said to me the other day that millennials are too sensitive. And I'm a millennial and I have to shake my head in agreement and be like, you damn right we too sensitive. Because y'all can't say nothing to us without us getting our butt hurt. Like, I need you to tell me I'm messing up so I can stop messing up so I can clean it up and get to the next level. But while we sitting over here talking about how I messed up and how you hurt my feelings, I'm missing my blessing and my ability to get to the next level, to take the lesson and get to the next level. That's how I be thinking. So if you say, sis, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and get that bonnet off your head when you traveling, because you might meet an investor, you might meet your husband, you might meet so and so. Or you might just be influencing somebody that don't even know you and they seeing how you carry yourself. And then they encouraged because they wearing a bonnet and they say, she carry herself without that. Maybe I could do the same. That's how I think. I understand everybody don't think like that. That's why I don't be on the line like this, because I don't be wanting to hear the backlash of it. But I will say, and as I wrap this movie up, what you see is what you get. We need to stop living in ambivalence and gray terms when it comes to human nature. What you see is what you get. If I see you and you look in a hot ass mess, and my perception of you is you a hot ass mess, that's how I'm gonna perceive you. It don't matter who you are inside. It really doesn't. And it goes vice versa. If I come on the line and I'm drinking and I'm doing this and I'm acting a hot ass fool and I'm loud and I'm carrying on and I'm cursing and I'm doing this and doing that. Well, yeah, and I got gold teeth and gold this and gold that and long ass green nails looking like freaking Baps from back in the day with Holly Berry. How y'all really gonna receive the message? Is y'all gonna take me seriously? We just really having our conversation. We can have it. We could really have it. Is y'all really gonna receive the message? The answer is most likely no. And we just gotta start living in the truth. We do have to do better. And we can't live too above reproach. I don't even know if that's the right word, but I'm sure it is. I'm sure you understand it. We can't live like that if we want to continue to grow. Now, if we don't want to grow, that's fine. But don't be sitting up here pissed off when people don't respect you because you don't look respectable. And we can't even cry victim because you wore something. Whole nother conversation. Because you wore something that got you disrespected. I'm just saying. I don't want that type of heat. I don't want that type of attention. I don't want nobody looking at me and thinking they can take advantage of me. I don't want nobody looking at me and thinking that they better than me because they got on a suit and I'm in public with some PJs on and some flip flops, bro. Is we really having our conversation? I like looking a certain way, and deep down inside, y'all do too. Y'all do too. So, I get it. Some of it is trending, the cute little slippers, the fluffy slippers, and the bonnets, and all that is cute. But it's a time and a place for it. That time and place is in the privacy of your own home, or when you having your little girls' night in slumber party. It's not to be traveling, in my humble opinion. It's not to be frolicking about at the grocery store. And I see it all the time. I see it all the time. And I just be like, don't be mad if don't nobody take you seriously because you look like you ain't taking yourself seriously. So how you expect somebody else to take you seriously when you appear to look like you do not take yourself seriously? Some food for thought. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments section. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Love you guys. T Speaks. Bye.